All right, guys, I've got something to show you. Wait for it. Boom! There we go. That was the dream I had over a year ago, is to see my boo right outside my window. And it's the same thing with diet and nutrition. For a very, very, very long time, I knew that I wanted to maximize my life potential. Through the grace of God, I found the ketogenic diet, and then I was able to implement this diet with my mom and help her survive a glioblastoma brain tumor that was very advanced with less than 1% survival rate. Changing your body and your health is quite easy. A lot of people think that they're too damaged, their hormones are too damaged, but you're really not. It's just about the amount of work that you're willing to put in. I left my favorite place in the whole world, and you guys know I've done a lot of traveling, and that's California. But I had to get out. I didn't like what I saw. So I moved. And I wanted to be in peace and quiet, like in a painting. By the way, that's a fly mask that's on Thunder's face. And he had cancer, which we beat the cancer, but now we have to protect his eyes from developing cancer again. But today I want to talk to you about protein and good living and good life and taking the stress down so you can absorb those amino acids. But let's get back to it. All right. So this is my new life. And I'm really, really loving it. I'm going to go and do a full video about where I moved and why I moved. And it started over a year ago with me getting a horse. I was really, really bored in Los Angeles. I was really bored. And I actually lived in Hollywood. I never spoke about where I lived because I didn't want a bunch of weirdos following me to my place of residence. But I lived in Hollywood, and after many years, I got bored and I went horseback riding, just trail riding, and I asked the people who owned that trail company, how much does it cost to, and I'd never had that thought 5 minutes before I asked the question, how much does it cost to take care and have a horse? And they made it sound really easy, but it's not. And then I was like, became obsessed like I am with good living, and made it happen. And then when I got a horse, I was in a bunch of boarding facilities, and they're just awful. They feel like, for me, prison cells for horses. They can't move. I mean, Thunder has full freedom right now. He's walking around doing whatever he wants. And he was an abused horse. I've explained this many times. And it took a lot of work, and I was almost killing myself to get him calm and quiet and happy. But I did it. I set my mind to it, and I achieved the results. And that's the same thing with the body. So I am on my way to be proudly 54. And I want to teach you guys that every little thing that you do in a day will have a reaction to your genetics, to your DNA, or the way that your DNA is expressed, or your genetics are expressed, which is called epigenetics. The amount of protein that you take in is very important on any diet. A lot of you guys get it wrong because basically you think you feel satiated on eating a lot of protein, when in actuality your body just doesn't have enough stomach acid and biological equipment to break it down and use all the amino acids coming from the animal protein that you consume. And a lot of people really get this wrong. They're just like, eat twice a day and a lot of protein and be on carnivore and you're going to be fabulous. But a lot of people aren't. I got to try to fix my tripod. It just broke off the thing. Or maybe I'll just hand hold this whole video. Your body can only take in about, and it depends on your stomach acid, the size of your stomach, your activity level, your digestion, the equipment, anywhere from about 18 grams of protein, that's total protein, that's not in weight, people who are from Europe, to about 28 grams of protein successfully. The point isn't to eat a lot of protein to build muscle. It's about utilizing the protein that you do eat, because you could eat a lot of protein and not utilize all those amino acids. A lot of what your body cannot break down and use just gets reconverted right back into sugar, making you fat, making your blood sugar unstable if you're trying to do a ketogenic protocol. That's the problem. And so you have to think not just what you read in a book about per kilo or per pound of body weight of per pound or kilo of protein. You have to think, do I have enough stomach acid to even break down the amino acids? Do I have protease? Do I have the right digestive enzymes? Do I have a gallbladder that will break down the fatty ribeye that I'm consuming so I can utilize the nutrients within the food? And that's a conversation often left out in the carnivore world and the ketogenic world. Now, keto started going high protein probably about 4 or 5 years after I had done it. So I've done it almost 14 years now, maybe 5, 6 years, halfway through. I was like, what are you guys doing? Too much protein spikes your blood sugar. And then you had all these people saying, oh, no, it doesn't. Don't even listen to that. But people started using a glucometer. I had already known that too much protein spikes your blood sugar because what you don't use, plus the kidneys have to break down the uric acid and the purines through the kidneys, and then that's another digestive issue. So people don't consider the digestive issues like gallbladder, either hyper, too much stomach acid, or hypochlorhydria. And then we got to consider the integrity of your gut wall, so you can actually absorb the nutrients or the amino acids. If the gut wall is open and leaking and too permeable, then you're not even going to use those proteins. And so people eat more and more proteins, not enough fat. They don't keto adapt. They say, I'm in ketosis. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And they often don't know. The point is, your body should have really good digestive equipment, and then the hormone insulin should work perfectly. If the insulin is working nicely, because hormone is the driver of amino acids into the muscle cells, so they can be used. But if you have poor GLUT4 receptor development, you are out of shape, you have a weak gut wall, or any problems with your kidneys, or low stomach acid, you're just not going to use the proteins. Most likely you're going to be a little slightly insulin resistant without realizing it. Insulin has to be sensitive, right? You have to have insulin sensitivity, because if you are insulin resistant, you're not going to even be able, that means the insulin's going to be pumping out and not getting into the receptors to do the job. So blood sugar keeps rising and you don't adapt. You gain weight and your hormones start getting jacked. But insulin sensitivity means you only need a little bit of protein, you guys, to get into the cell receptor to then be utilized for muscle growth or for any type of cellular function. But if you are not using that excess protein, it'll be reconverted back into glucose. You already have a destabilized glucose. So we can't really go by hunter-gatherers because their guts were fracked up. I mean, our guts are fracked up. Their guts were amazing. Often when people do these videos, they say things backwards without realizing they've done that. I've done that so many times, but I digress. So the amount of protein for men should be on a ketogenic or carnivore, or pretty much any diet, is between, drumroll please, really if you're insulin sensitive, for men, it's under 100. So it would be between 60, depending on your size, because some guys are shorties and tiny and don't work out, from 60 to about 95. That's, in the sweet spots around 75 to 85, depending on your activity level, your age, lean mass. And for women, it's between 45 and about 60. Not everyone is the same. The sweet spot for women is around 55, because the average height for a woman is 5'4". For a man, or 163, 164 centimeters. For a man, it's about, I think, 174 centimeters and about 5'10" for a man. Yeah, I know, crazy. So, excuse me, that would be the sweet spot for your protein. Low carb, high fat, keto, omnivore, and carnivore. Even carnivore people, you always have to make carnivore a high fat ketogenic diet. And you've got to have all the digestive system working to achieve that goal. Now I'm back. We're going to be doing a lot of videos. I'm on the fly. I'm busy. I have to do a course lesson right now. I have a course. It's a keto course where I teach keto, low carb, high fat, people who are still dependent on carbs or who want to graduate themselves down. I also do carnivore, high fat carnivore, omnivore, where you make sure you get your potassium in. You can go to stephanieperson.com. I also, for the course, it's a $15 course, and people charge like $10,000 for that. Why, I don't know, because most people get sick from them. Also, I cover all those subjects, like all the hormones, all the digestive issues, skin issues, energy issues, crisis, you name it, exercise. I cover it on all diets, not just keto. I also have a calendar for consultations. You can sign up at stephanieperson.com, or you can go to my Instagram or here on YouTube to get free content. Don't forget to go down to the comments below and tell me what videos you'd like me to do in my new life. Also, my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook page is Stephanie the Business, as in the body business, because you know, I'm soon going to be 55 after turning 54, and I just couldn't be more stoked for my life. I really want to teach you guys more about who I am and why the choices that I made, I think, are so important as you get older, because sometimes you just got to switch up your life. Sometimes you just got to do that. Where's my boo? Where is my boo? Oh, he's eating somewhere else. All right, guys, and I'm out. Peace.